everybody to our Ayurveda talk. We are now moving into the Ayurvedic cleanse next stage. Now, if you're in India, this next stage is actually considered the first stage because this cleanse is part of what they call panchakarma. It's a purification technique, and the first phase is oleation. But that is not the first stage and the first phase that I take people through. And that is because most of the time, people need to get the digestion strong enough to even get to the oleation phase. In the oleation phase, you are now going to be ingesting Ayurvedic ghee. So it is medicated and it is specific to your dosha. Before you do ghee, make sure that you have all your vitals done. So in other words, you are knowing what your beats per minute are, you know what your blood pressure is, all of that. And I do have a few people that I work with that have high cholesterol. So with those individuals, then we do oil enema so that they don't have to ingest it. But typically we ingest it. So I'm going to read a little bit here. I like using Dr. Laud's information on the cleanse. However, I've been through several programs and there are a few different ways that the cleanse is done. And what I have found when I'm working with people is oftentimes adjustments need to be made. So just know that that's okay. It's normal. We're all different. Sometimes we start something and then, whoa, we get faced with some sort of an ailment that shows up, or somebody starts menstruating. You have to then make adjustments. Or like I just had a client that had to do a colonoscopy right in the middle of the cleanse. And so we had to stop and start over and go back to adjusting the digestive fire, the Agni, which we just discussed last week. So let's go ahead and talk about in Ayurveda, when there is disease, it means there's a crisis of ama. AMA is the word that we use for toxins. If there is disease, illness, it means there is a crisis of ama, toxins in the body. And the body seeks to eliminate anything that's been accumulated. All those toxins that have been accumulated, the body naturally wants to release it and get it out. It wants to get rid of the toxins. It naturally engages in those processes to remove toxins. That's why you eliminate every day. You eat and then you eliminate. That's how that whole process works. Same. So the key to prevention of disease is once the toxins or the ama has been built up, you want to help the body eliminate those toxins. So this is where the purification techniques become very important, because most of us, especially here in the West, are getting exposed to a lot of toxins with what we eat, environmental toxins, and then also the natural buildup of toxins that happen as we shift from one season into another season. To remove the toxins and the ama from the body system, Ayurveda uses internal cleansing programs and processes. And these are known in the West as the 5 actions. It's called panchakarma. And they're treatments that include pre-purification methods and then prepare the body to let go of the toxins by using these methods ourselves. So we do it with the guidance of an Ayurvedic health practitioner who has gone through panchakarma training. So I went through a panchakarma training program. Then I went through another panchakarma training program. It was a more consolidated program. And then I did an extensive panchakarma training program that took like 2 years to get through. So it is really involved. It's no joke, for sure. So the first step in this 5 purification techniques, preparatory step is what they call internal oleation. Now, I just will tell you, you do not start this step unless you have had an evaluation and you have also made sure that your digestive fire is strong enough to ingest ghee. It's thick. So if your digestion is weak or variable, then you're not going to be able to digest the ghee. We have to actually get the digestion strong enough. So important. Then we go into the oleation phase and you drink small quantities. Small. You start out small of ghee, and this creates a thin film. I want to read this in detail so you really understand it, because we in the West don't typically understand why are we doing this. A lot of people go, ew. So it creates a thin film in the body channels called the schrotas, and it lubricates them. And then it allows for any toxins, any kind of buildup or accumulation that is lodged deep in the connective tissues to be freely removed. Because what happens is those toxins become sticky in the channels. They just get stuck there. There's a stickiness. And a lot of people are systemically dry from medications, dry from where they live, dry from the lifestyle, dry from what they're eating. So what we want to do is we want to lubricate those channels, remove the lodged toxicity that's in the connective tissue so that it can then go into the gastrointestinal tract for elimination. Think of it as an engine. You cannot drive your car and run your car without oil. You need the lubrication. Otherwise, nothing works. In a way, it's similar. And by the way, I will tell you, this is my favorite phase, because when you start doing the oleation phase, you start feeling amazing because everything is lubricated. Your joints start feeling good. Your skin starts feeling good. I love this phase because it makes my body as a Vata Pitta body feel amazing. So you get the toxins, they move freely into the gastrointestinal tract, and then you take herbs for elimination. That's a whole nother stage. So internal oleation is typically done for 3 to 5 days. Now, that is dependent on the dosha, the person's dominant dosha. If you are a kapha person, because you have more earth and water, that you're going to usually be a lot less days. If you're pitta or vata, usually you're going to go the full amount, the full days. I have switched people from ingesting the small amounts of medicated ghee to having to do a basti instead. Okay, it's okay. So we make adjustments. You do internal oleation, that's ingesting the medicated ghee, and then you follow it up with external oleation. Now, this is also a specific ghee, this is a specific oil, medicated oil for your particular constitution. And you do the external oleation. It's called Abhyanga. And you do that for a few days. And then after you do that, then we apply heat. Then we move into the heat phase. But this phase is all about lubricating internally for a few days, externally for a few days. For some people, I'm having them do both at the same time. It really depends on the person. And the oil is applied to the entire body in a particular direction, and I have a video of that if you would like that. And what that massaging does, remember your skin is your largest organ. What it does is it softens both the superficial and the deep tissues of the body. And this helps to not only relieve stress and nourish the nervous system, but it will also help that whole process of lubricating all the tissues. It is fantastic. I will tell you that. Like I said, this is my favorite phase. I can't wait to start the cleanse. Yay! So next week, we start the online cleanse. If you haven't already started, I do have some people that have already started. If you haven't already started, then you can come Thursday night at 6. It's online. It's a drop-in fee, very affordable, and you can then ask questions. If you're already into the cleanse, you can get in and hey, this is where I'm at. You can do whatever you need to do as far as asking and getting the guidance you need without having to do the one-on-one consultations. Although I do have a lot of people that prefer that, no problem if you would like to do that as well. I definitely recommend that if you have not met with me, you've never had an Ayurveda consultation, invest in that. It's so worth it. That information does not change. You will have it your whole life. And it is such wonderful information as far as guiding you through your life, how to maneuver through the different seasons, the ups and downs of life, the different stages, and all the stuff that goes on as we are on this journey as a human. Okay, so that is the oleation stage. That's the next stage. And next week, if you would like to start the cleanse, please join us Thursday night or reach out to me individually. Come in and start the cleanse for yourself. And like I said, I have 2 videos that I have posted for you guys online. And that first video that I did 2 weeks ago is packed with information as far as how to prepare for the spring cleanse. And if you were just to do that, you would get massive benefit. I recommend that you do the whole thing. But if you can't, you don't want to, you're not ready to invest in yourself that way, it's okay. You could just do that one video, follow that, and email me. I will send you your food list so that you have everything you need to do the Ayurvedic cleanse. Because I really just want to support people in being healthy. Okay, so that is our talk for tonight. Oleation phase, that's the next stage of the Ayurveda spring cleanse, and it is a wonderful phase. You feel fantastic. Helps eliminate pain, stiffness, just wherever you're stuck in your body, it loosens it up. So really wonderful to experience.